with a ranger's hat and shovel and a pair of dungarees. You'll find him in the forest, always sniffing at the breeze. People stop and pay attention when he tells them to beware, 'cause everybody knows that he's the fire prevention bear. Smokey the bear, Smokey the bear, prowling and a growling and a sniff in the air. He can find a fire before it starts to flame. That's why they call him Smokey, that was how he got his name. You can take a tip from Smokey, and there's nothing like a tree, 'cause they're good for kids to climb on and they're beautiful to see. You just have to look around and you'll find it's not a joke to see what you'd be missing if they all went up in smoke. Smokey the bear, Smokey the bear, prowling and a growling and a sniff in the air. He can find a fire before it starts to flame. That's why they call him Smokey, that was how he got his name. If you've ever seen a forest when a fire is running wild, and you love the things within it like a mother loves its child, then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you're passing through, remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do. Smokey the bear, Smokey the bear, prowling and a growling and a sniff in the air. He can find a fire before it starts to flame. That's why they call him Smokey, that was how he got his name. That's why they call him Smokey, that was how he got his name. This is a fun song written in 1952, and I actually found it kind of on one of those unusual rabbit trails down YouTube. And I saw an old segment where I think it was Hopalong Cassidy was telling the story of Smokey Bear, and that was the bear's actual name, Smokey Bear, when they found him in that tree as a cub. And when they wrote the song, the writers told the forest department that Smokey the Bear seemed to fit lyrically. So we sometimes think of Smokey Bear as Smokey the Bear, but his name is actually Smokey Bear. This is an actual song for the Forestry Service, and if you want to, you can go online and find the sheet music. That's how I found it. And it's in the key of C, and if you also go on YouTube and look up Smokey the Bear, you're going to kind of see like an old child's album cover on there, and you can play along with it. It's in the same key. And I did skip one verse in here in my performance because I didn't feel it really needed it. It's a pretty simple song. I played it all in first positions, nothing too fancy. Now here's a disclaimer. After I did my arrangement, I think there was a couple other people who did arrangements of this song. Ukulele Mike Lynch, rest his soul, was a great gift to the ukulele community, and he may have had an arrangement of it, and it might have been on Twitter or one of those other services, but I don't get those. I'm only a YouTube, Facebook person, and so if it looks like I did any kind of copying, none was intentional. I didn't have his arrangement or anyone else's arrangement. Like I say, you can play along with the recording on YouTube. It's a fun song, and what a great message, huh? Especially this time when there's so many fires around, and we can think about Smokey the bear, Smokey the bear, prowling and a growling and a sniff in the air. And we leave that up to you because as Smokey, remember, please be careful. It's the least that you can do. Have fun with the song. You can find it at UkesterBrown.com.